Hi guys, it's Katie with Homo Librariensis. Welcome back. Yes, I'm wearing the same little fox shirt from my last video because don't you know we just film more than one. I have to film more than one at a time now because then I'll never have anything to put up. And it's getting darker and gloomier and rainy outside, and kind of glad I didn't buy a ticket to the really big music festival that was happening in the city this weekend because it's supposed to rain the whole time and I don't like that. Anyway, so I've never done a booktube-athon or an athon here. So this is going to be my first try. I don't think I can read fast enough for most of these for you guys, but I'm going to try my best, and I really wanted to try one. This is my TBR for the POCathon. This starts tomorrow, or actually on the 12th. It might even start after I put this video up, depending on how long it takes me to edit it. But it was put out by Ghost Reader and a few others, and I'll link that video down below. And I just appreciated the challenges. I was able to find some books on my TBR that match those challenges. So here we go. And again, I'll try my best, but if I even get through one, I will be very happy with myself because I've been not reading that fast, and I have a few other books on the go right now. But so there's 5 prompts, and I'll go through them actually from 2 to 5, and then I'll come back to the last one. So the second one is read a classic book by an author of color or a translated work. So for that one, I chose Paradise by Toni Morrison. So I've read a few other Toni Morrison books, Beloved and Sula, and I've enjoyed them. Magical realism is not always my thing, but I did appreciate a lot of the imagery that she uses in her books. This one, I believe, it's still a novel, but it does not appear to be magical realism. It's talking about an entirely black town, fictitious town in the United States, where this episode of violence breaks out, and then it kind of talks about, I believe, just a lot of the different factors that go into that violence. And it's not just about race, but I think religion and gender and things like that. So, I mean, it's fairly apropos right now for the United States and for North America, Canada as well, and all the violence that's been going on. So that's for number 2. The third one, so it says read a science fiction or fantasy book by an author of color or translated work. So I've actually read some, I really like Octavia Butler and Nnedi Okorafor. I don't have any of those on my shelf right now, any ones I haven't read, I should say. So, and I don't read a lot of science fiction or I really don't read any fantasy. So I decided if I get to this one, which again, reading this many books is stretching it anyway, but if I get this far, then I will reread the first 2 volumes of Bitch Planet. I really enjoyed these the first time I read them, and I would be happy to read them again. They're pretty quick. They're graphic novels, basically about a planet where women are sent when they are disobedient and are made to join this sort of violent sport that is broadcast. I'm really not explaining it well. Anyway, Bitch Planet. That's what I'll read if I get that far. Then another one the next one is read a book of poetry by an author of color. So the one that I chose is Even This Page is White by Vivek Shraya. And I've seen her read her poetry a few times, and I want to say this is the one that she launched here not that recently, last year that I attended, and I do really appreciate it was lovely to hear her read the poetry herself, and then I haven't had a chance. I've read a few of her other things. She's also wrote She of the Mountains, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this collection. I think the reason I haven't read it yet is because I'm kind of afraid that as a white person, I won't really kind of get a lot of the poetry, or I might miss something, but I'm going into it with an open mind. I want to learn something, and so what if the collection isn't necessarily meant for me? I think I'll get something out of it. So that one, and then the next, number 5, is read a book that deals with racism, prejudice, or immigration. So my next 2 books, both of them sort of fit with that. So the next one, the one I picked for that was, for number 5, is Nomad by Ayan Hirsi Ali. And I think this is actually the second book after her first book, Infidel. And it deals with, I think, both prejudice or racism and immigration, but it's about her childhood in, I believe, Kenya and Somalia and maybe the Middle East, and then moving to the Netherlands, and about religious extremism, which I believe she is kind of speaks out against in this book. And so it is a memoir, it's not a novel, and so that one, Nomad by Ayan Hirsi. And then the last prompt, or the first prompt actually, is read books with main characters from 3 different races or ethnicities, and they can all be in the same book. So there's multiple ethnicities represented in those other books, but there's the poetry and the graphic novel. So I chose a third sort of book. It's also nonfiction, Saqiyuq by Nancy Wachowich, and this is subtitled Stories from the Lives of 3 Inuit Women. So this is nonfiction. It's written 3 different generations in a family of Inuit women from Nunavut, and I believe the first generation starts in the 1930s and follows from there. So it's 3 generations, and I believe it's about kind of their experience of both having culture taken away from them, or trying to be taken away from them, and then that reestablishing or reclaiming of culture and language. So this book, and so I'm really excited for this tag. Like I said, it's a big stretch for me to read that much in a week, and I am trying to finish up a chemistry course in the next couple of weeks anyway, but I'm really excited to get to all these books. So if nothing else, they're back on my radar. I'm going to put them on the front of my shelf and hopefully pick up and finish at least 1 or 2 of them this week. So I'm really excited about this. Thanks, Ghost Reader, for putting together this awesome tag, and I'm looking forward to diving into these books, and thanks for checking out my video. See you guys next time. Bye!